What's happening, everybody? It is Friday. We just had the weigh-ins for UFC Sao Paulo. We have two fights canceled. The Victor Hugo versus Daniel Marcos fight is canceled thanks to Hugo missing weight. The Bonfim Pichel fight is off thanks to Ismael Bonfim missing weight. And Pichel missed weight too, but he actually made weight on the second attempt. Ismael was unable to. That fight was scrapped. And then we had Eduarda Mora coming in, I think 3.5 pounds over for her fight against Montserrat Ruiz, which is troubling for my over bet because she was already way bigger than Ruiz. And now she didn't even bother to try to cut weight. So this is going to be a rough one for my over bet. She's going to be fighting somebody basically 2 weight classes bigger than her. So this is going to be an interesting card now. We've lost some fights. We've lost some of the fights that, I wanted to have action on. I wanted to have action on that Vince Pichel versus Bonfim fight. I thought Daniel Marcos was a pretty good play in the Marcos versus Hugo fight, and I also thought Hugo by submission was a worthwhile play as well. So now we got to dig a little bit deeper. But I've got a 4-leg parlay for you right now that is checking in at plus 550 on DraftKings Sportsbook, but it's checking in at plus 571 on FanDuel Sportsbook. So whether, you always want to shop these parlays around and get the best price possible, because over the long run, that definitely matters if you're trying to be plus EV better. But let's get right into it, you guys. Let's start with leg 1 of this parlay, and I will share my screen with you here so we can get the stats up. Leg 1 of this parlay is going to be Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. My guy, Vitor Petrino, to shave the ass of Modestas Bukauskas. Minus 245 on the money line there. If you want to get a little bit cheeky and go inside the distance, that would be a way to add to this. But I like Petrino to win this fight. Petrino is going to do more. He's going to do more in the striking. He's going to do more in the grappling. And he's got way more power. He's the younger fighter. He's at home in Brazil. There's a lot of reasons to like him here. But really, the reason that I like the most is that this guy just goes after it. He's got ridiculous power, and he shouldn't have the conditioning that he has for somebody with the build that he has. So this guy is a pretty rare athlete. He's still very young, you guys. Let me get the age for you here. He is still only 26 years old. Now, Modestas is only 29. So Modestas is a young man too. And we could certainly still be seeing improvements in Modestas' game. And Modestas is a decent minute winner. He's a good striker. He's good at countering. He moves well. He's got excellent conditioning. But, I just see a lot of green in the output areas. Takedowns landed. Takedowns attempted. Significant strikes landed at distance. Significant strikes landed at or significant strikes attempted at distance. There's just a lot of green in Vitor Petrino's statistics, which indicate that he's out there doing more while Modestas is out there doing less. So I think that this is a good spot for Petrino. I think he's going to shave Modestas' ass here, finish him inside the distance with big shots. But minus 245 is going to be the first leg on this 4-leg parlay. If we go over here to DraftKings, it's trying to put together a same game parlay here for Almeida, but I think the best I got with 4 different legs in it was plus 130. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. But let's go to the UFC here, and we're going to go to leg number 1 of this parlay being the Vitor Petrino money line at minus 245. And leg number 2 is going to be Rinat Fakhretdinov to win this fight by decision. I think that Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos is going to be a very stiff test for Rinat. Rinat has got excellent blast double leg takedowns. He's got big power in his overhand right. And that combination of skill sets along with the conditioning to be able to push a wrestling heavy game plan for the full 15 minutes is going to be key to his victory here. Zaleski has excellent Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Zaleski is a fantastic striker. He can maintain distance well. He's got great capoeira kicks, and he's also got really great pocket boxing, kickboxing. He mixes up his weapons well, and he's got pretty good power as well. So This is going to be a really good fight, but I do see Fakhretdinov pushing the wrestling here. And I think that if he does that, he is good enough at getting those takedowns and being able to mat return you over and over and over again and being able to push that pace that I don't necessarily think he's going to finish this fight. I mean, if he lands a big shot like he did against Kevin Lee or he did against Brian Battle, I could see him maybe sinking in a front choke submission here. And my pick actually was on just the tip, Fakhretdinov by second round submission, but getting a minus 340 favorite in what my opinion could be his most likely win condition at plus 165 here is a great way to play this. Fakhretdinov, in my opinion, the path of least resistance here would be for him to wrestle. And if he does that, he's going to be wrestling a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt who is going to be throwing up some submissions, but we know that Rinat can stay safe from that. So I'm thinking that Rinat gets this job done by decision. Now, this leg at plus 165 is going to significantly fatten up this parlay and then allow us to be able to take some safer legs for the third and fourth legs. And the fourth leg is going to be a very wide one that we can easily hedge out here at the end to guarantee ourselves some money. So if this Fakhretdinov hits, we're going to be in really good shape to at least hedge our way out of this bet and lock in some money. So second leg, if we go up here to fight props, winning method. We go down here, Rinat Fakhretdinov to win by decision is plus 165 on DraftKings Sportsbook. That brings our parlay up to plus 273. Leg number 3 is going to be the fight doesn't go to decision for Vieira versus Petrosian at minus 225. So over here on the prop template, I've got this fight up. Now, all 4 of Armen Petrosian's fights have went to decision in the UFC, but for Vieira, it's 5 of his 6 fights have finished inside the distance. And the one that didn't was the Chris Curtis fight, where Chris was just beating 7 shades of shit out of him, going to the body over and over and over again. And Rodolfo Vieira was saying after that fight that he wanted to quit so bad. The body shots had affected him so much. And you see that Vieira just doesn't have the conditioning to be able to push a full 15-minute pace here. Now, after Rodolfo gassed out against Fluffy Hernandez, we kind of saw him change the way he fights a little bit and be able to kind of start a little bit slower, not have to go for that takedown as often and as early as he was in the past, where he would be more likely to gas out because he's wrestling more often. But he did that against guys in Chris Curtis and Dustin Stoltzfus that you don't have to worry about the length of the kickboxing that you do with Petrosian. In addition, you don't have to worry about the volume either. This is a very high volume kickboxer here in Armen Petrosian. So I kind of feel like Petrosian's style is going to push Vieira to have to go after the submission early in this fight. He's got to get Petrosian down early while he's dry and get this submission. And Petrosian has poor takedown defense. So I don't think Rodolfo is going to be able to pace himself in this fight. I think Petrosian's going to come out right off the bat. He's kind of staying in Rodolfo's face and force him to wrestle. And if that's the case, you guys, this fight is not going the distance. So I love this third leg. This is something I'm still considering straight betting at minus 210 for a big number. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I don't know if I will, but I really do stylistically like the unders here, but my prop template does like the overs. So that always worries me a little bit because it tells me that I might be paying up a little bit too much on this under. But I think stylistically, my read is that if Rodolfo is unable to pace himself, that either it's going to be Petrosian late or it's going to be Vieira early, but one way or another, this fight should finish inside the distance. And I think minus 225 is a good number to parlay as our third leg of this parlay. So we are going to go to fight props, and we're going to go to Rodolfo Vieira versus Armen Petrosian. Fight doesn't go the distance, minus 225. That brings us up to plus 439. Last leg, Jailton Almeida money line. Let's face it. I mean, this guy's going to go out there. He's going to shoot a takedown in the first 10 seconds. Derek Lewis has 50% takedown defense over a massive sample size of over 20 UFC fights. Once Jailton gets him down, he's going to advance position. He's going to land ground and pound. Derek's going to give up his back, and Jailton's going to choke him out. But even if he doesn't, you guys, even if he doesn't, if the first 3 legs of this parlay have cashed, then we're going to be able to bounce our way out of this for a sure profit, betting plus 370 on the Derek Lewis money line here. So if we take Jailton Almeida at minus 485, that brings the parlay up to plus 550 on DraftKings Sportsbook. But if we go over here to FanDuel Sportsbook, you can see that you can get Fakhretdinov by points at plus 175 instead of plus 165. The Petrino money line is the same. The Jailton money line is a little more expensive at minus 520, but the difference between 485 and 520 in implied probability is very, very small. So it's not much there. And then we've got minus 220 for the fight doesn't go the distance for Vieira versus Petrosian instead of minus 225. So we can get plus 571 for this 4-legger on FanDuel, but 550 on DraftKings. So if you have FanDuel, I would suggest go over there and put this parlay over there or wherever you can get better than plus 550 that's on DraftKings if you have the ability to be able to do that. But it comes out to 550 on DraftKings, plus 571 on FanDuel. And if my read is right on the Fakhretdinov fight, this one's going to have a very high chance to cash. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Last week, we had one no contest fight. We had the under 1.5 rounds for Walker versus Ankalaev. So that was a push. We cashed 2 legs. The leg we didn't cash was fight starts round 2 for Ikram Aliskerov. I really didn't think that Ikram Aliskerov's was striking was as good as it's been these last 2 fights. I really thought he was more of a grappler, and I didn't think that, he would have the balls to take down a guy like Alves early, whose guillotine is so dangerous. And I thought that fight would coast into the second round and perhaps even into the third. And boy, was I wrong. Ikram has proven me wrong twice. I bet against him with Phil Hawes, and I bet against him by just saying I don't think Ikram can get a first-round finish here. And he did. He proved me wrong both times. So we got served last week, but we're looking to bounce back strong this week and cash this plus 571 on FanDuel Sportsbook. Let me see what's up to you guys in the chat here. And for those of you guys watching on the replay, please hit that thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. And please consider joining the Patreon, where you get access to these fantabulous stats that you see here every week on Just the Tip, Ask Weezy, and the Greasy 4-leg parlay. It's the best way to support my work. If you enjoy coming here for free on YouTube and digesting the work that I do, the best way to support it is to go over and support me on the Patreon. And we got TH in the room saying, "Oi, good to see you, Weezy. Let's make that money. Let's go, man. I'm looking forward to cashing this one. I got a half unit on it." Golden Octagon saying, "Oi, I'm working from home today. I get paid to listen to my favorite uncle talk about fights. Let's stack them this weekend, Weezy in chat." My guy Golden Octagon always hanging out with us here on Uncle Weezy's channel. Appreciate you, brother. Let's get it this weekend. Let's enjoy these fights even more by stacking cash tickets like flapjacks while watching them. We got EQ in the room saying, "Oi, yes." We've got Justin J in the room saying, "Oi, howdy, Uncle Weezy, and greetings to the chat." We got Cage in the room saying, "Oi." We got Dinetes one in the room saying half the card is canceled. Yeah, two out of the 13 fights are canceled. Not quite half, but it feels like it, because we had 4 fighters miss weight, was it? I mean, like, that's just entirely too much. So yeah, very interesting, but we've got to make do with what's left. And I've given us a 4-leg parlay that hopefully is going to cash this week and take us into next week on a winning streak here. We got Adam Rush in the room saying, "Oi!" And we've got Go Flamingo in the house saying, "Weez Dog in the house. How goes it, brother?" Things are good, man. It's Friday. Hanging out today. And tonight, you guys, I will be one of the guests on Narco Cops Lambo Plays podcast. That's going to be really fun. So check me and Lou Betcha out doing that with Narco Cop tonight. I believe 7 o'clock Eastern time. I don't know. I got it in my DMs. Going to be a great show. We got 11 fights to break down. We're going to try to find you some Bet Plus money tickets here so that you can go buy yourself a Lambo after this event. We got Dinetta saying Ismael Bonfim canceled. Yes, sir. And Hugo Marcos canceled as well. Yep. It's a shame, man. And we got I got Robert Saladino in the room saying confidence level 1 to 10 on this one, Weezy. Well, you can never really beat, like, for instance, when you're betting a plus 550, you're looking at, what is it? About 19. Let me see here. I can go to. So if we just convert a 550, why did that just happen? If we just convert a 550, it's a 15% implied probability according to the odds that this hits. So I should be at least 20% confident, 25% confident that this hits. And that's the thing. You can't be hyperbolic when you say, dude, this thing hits, at least half the time, because it doesn't. That's just not how life works. You don't get, you don't get those kind of odds if you're going to have a 50% chance to win. But I would say my confidence level, 1 out of 10 on how confident I am on these parlays, I'd say that's maybe a 6.5. I'm worried that Fakhretdinov lands a big shot and gets a finish. I'm worried that maybe Petrino doesn't look his best. I'm not really worried about the fight doesn't go to decision. I'm not really worried about Almeida. And honestly, I mean, Petrino is my most confident pick of the week. So I think I crafted a pretty good parlay here, but I did have to have one wide leg. It is Fakhretdinov by decision. I bet Fakhretdinov I think I either bet Fakhretdinov to win by decision versus Kevin Lee, or I bet the fight goes to decision. Either way, that wasn't even close, Robert. So you just never know, man. But obviously the widest leg is the Fakhretdinov leg. That's the most worried I am about any of the 4 legs. But if my stylistic read on this fight is correct, then I think the Fakhretdinov is going to wrestle a ton. I think he has the cardio to be able to do that effectively. Look good on the scales today. So I'm looking for Fakhretdinov by decision, and I'm looking for us to cash this plus 550. My guy, Grateful Dude, who's grateful for a lot of shit, says he appreciates the Greasy 4-leg parlay. He's grateful for it, you guys, and I'm grateful for Grateful Dude. Thanks for hanging out, man. I genuinely think we see a drawn-out striking match between Vieira and Petrosian, round 3 or decision. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think the way Petrosian goes to the body, if we do see that, I think Petrosian's going to finish him to the body. I think, like I said on Just the Tip, I don't think Vieira shit right for like a month after that fucking Chris Curtis fight. He took at least 20, 25 vicious body shots, and he could barely even stand up after that fight. I mean, his guts got absolutely pulverized in that one. The first big, left body kick that lands for Petrosian, he's going to have flashbacks to that Curtis fight. He's going to look up at the clock and say, 13 more minutes of this shit? No thanks. I'm going to fucking... Dude, I do not see this being a striking match. No chance. If this is going to be a striking match, then I'm going to be wrong for sure. And there's a good chance that this thing does go to decision because Vieira is very durable. But he's not going to win the minutes. He has to get this guy down. He has to win the minute. He has to get this fight on the ground in order to have any chance. Otherwise, he's going to get picked apart. Petrosian's way higher volume than the strikers he's seen outside of the Hernandez fight. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. In terms of 4 parlays that you have felt good about, your gut feeling. Yeah, no, I think that this is a good one, you guys. I mean, I love 3 of these legs. I'm very confident on Petrino. I have him parlayed up. I'm very confident that Jailton Almeida wins this fight. Obviously, the guy has absorbed 2 strikes in 5 fights. He's that dominant. So yeah, I am confident about this, but like I say, it's a plus 550. If I was 90% confident, I'd put a couple of units on it to win 11 and track it. But that's not the way life works. And Robert's saying, good enough. Appreciate all your hard work. Appreciate you, Robert. I'm glad that I do the Greasy 4-leg parlay during the day so that you're up to be able to watch this, because most respectable people are in bed when I'm live. So anyway, it's good to see you guys. We got Silky B in the room saying, I currently have only one bet. Tough one to find spots I align with. Silky B, I've got two bets. And I'm thinking of adding a Fakhretdinov by decision ticket. I'm thinking of adding the fight doesn't go to decision ticket for Vieira versus Petrosian. Either way, we're going to see how this one shakes out at the end of the day. My guy Chronic Combat Conversations in the room saying he appreciates all the hard work. Weezy, appreciate all of you guys' hard work as well. They do a great show every Wednesday night. And we've got Saladino saying, after 2 weeks in therapy, my family has forgiven me. TJ Brown is now forever faded. Yeah, I think he might be done in the UFC. Maybe not, though. And yeah, we've all learned our lesson with him, and no reason to bet him unless they give him the lowest of low-level opponents going forward. So yeah, appreciate all you guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what your greasy four-legger is for the week. Well, let me know what leg you think is going to fail, or let me know what, if you've got a parlay that you think is going to cash. Put it in the comments down below. Please consider joining the Patreon, and let's stack cashed tickets like flapjacks for UFC Sao Paulo. Enjoy the fights, everybody, and have a great weekend. We will see you on Sunday, Stat Diggers, 6:15 Central Time. And we will also see you for the watch along on Pub Sports Radio tomorrow. Check us out on Pub Sports Radio, and let's enjoy these fights, you guys. Have a great day.